just in! A bombshell move is gaining momentum behind the scenes, and the Raiders are directly involved. Sources from CBS and ESPN have begun revealing details of a potential major trade, and the name involved will shock many. The most surprising part? The opposing team comes from the NFC and is experiencing a completely opposite situation to the Raiders. I've obtained exclusive information about what's being discussed, who might leave, and who might arrive in Las Vegas. And you'll understand why this trade could change the course of the season. But first, if you love the Raiders and want to know everything before everyone else, like and subscribe now, because what I'm about to tell you is jaw-dropping. The Las Vegas Raiders are in a difficult situation this season. With a 2-5 record in 2025, Pete Carroll's first year as head coach hasn't gone as planned, and the team seems far from the dominant force fans expected. With the trade deadline approaching, the front office is now exploring bold moves before the NFL trade deadline on November 4th, aiming to extract value from players who may enter free agency next year. One name already generating buzz is veteran wide receiver Jakobi Meyers, who has openly expressed that he would accept a trade if the right opportunity arose. Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports recently listed Meyers among the top 9 trade candidates in the league, but what's truly attention-grabbing is the potential destination, the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers, on a quiet 3-game winning streak and with a 4-3 record, have emerged as one of the surprise NFC playoff contenders. Rookie Tetairoa McMillan has been electrifying. Jalen Coker just returned from injury, and Xavier Legette and Jimmy Horn Jr. are starting to show their potential. While the Panthers' receiving corps looks promising on paper, adding a proven veteran like Meyers could be exactly the boost they need to solidify their playoff push and become a legitimate threat in the NFC. Meyers' track record is undeniable. In 2024, he caught 87 passes for 1,027 yards and 4 touchdowns. This year, despite missing Week 7 due to multiple injuries, he has already recorded 29 receptions for 329 yards in 6 games. Preseason contract negotiations with Las Vegas didn't go as planned, and with Meyers set to become a free agent in 2026, trading him now makes perfect sense for the Raiders to get a tangible return instead of risking losing him for free. The question remains whether Carolina is willing to give up draft picks for what could be a short-term contract, but the potential impact on their offense is enormous. If Meyers goes to the Panthers, it would not only add talent, but also reshape the NFC playoff picture, making Carolina a much more formidable opponent and creating a ripple effect throughout the league. For the Raiders, this potential trade isn't just about one player. It represents a shift in strategy, acknowledging a difficult season while simultaneously trying to extract value and create opportunities to address critical shortcomings in other areas of the roster, especially the struggling offensive line. But while the focus is on potential departures from the roster, a new idea is beginning to gain traction behind the scenes, and it could bring an unexpected addition to address one of the team's biggest weaknesses. Raiders target, former number 7 pick to address offensive line. Woes even with a rough 2-5 start, the Raiders are exploring moves to stabilize key positions, especially their struggling offensive line. With left tackle Colton Miller sidelined by an ankle injury, protecting Geno Smith and creating running lanes has been a major problem. Right tackle has been a recurring weakness for years, and this season it's painfully obvious. Enter Evan Neal, the former 7th overall pick in the 2022 draft by the New York Giants. Neal has suffered injuries and inconsistency in New York, missing all of the 2025 season, and the Giants declined his 5th-year option. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler listed the Raiders as a possible landing spot, indicating they could acquire him for a low-cost draft pick. While risky, Neal's pedigree at Alabama and his 2021 All-American status indicate untapped potential. Las Vegas could offer a fresh start, giving him a chance to recapture the promise that made him a top 10 pick. If Neal proves too uncertain, the Raiders could look to veteran Braxton Jones of the Chicago Bears. Jones, with starting experience and now healthy after ankle issues, is in the final year of his contract. Neither Neal nor Jones guarantees a complete solution, but both could offer short-term stability to an experimental line that has struggled to protect Smith or support the running game. Experienced tackles are hard to come by mid-season, and these players offer options for Las Vegas, balancing immediate needs with long-term development. But there is a risk. Neither Neal nor Jones is a foolproof solution. Both come with baggage of injuries and inconsistencies, and acquiring them may not significantly improve the line. Young prospects like Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers could develop with more playing time, making draft capital an option to consider. Even so, with the offensive line being a glaring weakness, exploring these options makes sense. Following the buzz surrounding the possible transfer of Jakobi Meyers to the Panthers, the possibility of targeting Neal or Jones demonstrates that the Raiders are looking for moves to gain value or stabilize critical positions. With the trade deadline approaching, these decisions could could shape not only the rest of 2025, but also the team's prospects for 2026. However, not every seemingly promising proposal actually solves the problem, and the latest suggestions show exactly how much more serious the offensive line situation is than it appears. Problems on the Raiders' offensive line go beyond potential trades. Even with negotiations involving Jakobi Meyers and potential acquisitions like Evan Neal or Braxton Jones, the Raiders' offensive line remains the team's biggest weakness. Las Vegas entered 2025 with doubts about its front line, and so far, the line has struggled to protect quarterback Geno Smith and open up running lanes. With Colton Miller out indefinitely due to an ankle injury, backups like Stone Forsythe, Jackson Powers-Johnson, Dylan Parham, DJ Glaze, and Jordan Meredith have faced challenges, leaving an inconsistent unit week after week. While Neal and Jones could provide temporary depth, neither is expected to significantly transform the line early on. Both players have faced setbacks with injuries or performance in their previous stints, and acquiring them may not solve the Raiders' long-term problems. The team faces a difficult decision: invest in progress with uncertain potential, or focus on developing young prospects like Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers. Giving the rookies significant playing time could pay off in the future, but it also carries the risk of immediate difficulties on the field. Jeremy Fowler and Matt Bowen highlight that Jones and Neal are available at a low cost and could serve as short-term additions, but improvements would likely be incremental. The difficulties beyond the Raiders' interventions extend to the right tackle position. The line has failed to create consistent opportunities in both the passing and running games. Without significant improvements, Geno Smith will continue to be under pressure, and the ground attack will remain limited, making it clear that this is a core area that needs attention both now and in the offseason. Ultimately, Las Vegas is at a crossroads. They could pursue trades like Meyers to gain value, take a risk on Neal or Jones to stabilize the line, or let the young players develop while planning for a bigger overhaul. Each choice carries risks and rewards, and with the trade deadline rapidly approaching, the Raiders need to decide quickly. Fans should expect action soon, as the front office faces a challenging season, balancing immediate needs and long-term goals. With Jakobi Meyers' situation in flux, the Raiders exploring trades for Evan Neal or Braxton Jones, and the offensive line still struggling, can Las Vegas make the right moves to turn the 2025 season around, or is a complete rebuild inevitable? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Raiders news.